It'll be quite well. My dear old things, good morning. It's still pretty chilly in Norfolk, as you can see. There's snow around us, and I'm afraid the news from Australia chilly too. England lost the final match by 5 wickets, and the series, the Ashes, 4-1. But you Peter Christian fans, I know you'll be even keener to support England cricket and to push in your orders to Peter Christian, all these lovely, wonderful clothes, both for the heat of Australia and the chill of England, and almost anything in between. So get your orders in. Peter Christian will come up with a wonderful discount, and you'll be away. Well, the news from Sydney, I'm afraid, was gloomy, but it was almost bound to be, wasn't it? In fact, in the end, England set Australia 160 to win, got them 5 wickets down for 121, and then Cameron Green and Alex Carey saw them home. A little bit of nerves in the Australian batting, good bowling by Josh Tongue, who took 3 wickets, and so England came out of it with something. Tongue's bowling and of course Bethall's batting. Now the morning began with Bethall going out there with Matthew Potts. They were 142 for 8 was the England score, and they pushed the lead up to 160. And it was Bethall who got he got 154, and then Stark made one lift on him and got the edge of the bat, and he was caught by Carey. And then Stark took the last wicket when he had Josh Tongue. So Stark finished with 31 wickets in the series, which won him the Man of the Series award, and what a terrific effort it was by him. So Australia started off again with Weatherall and Head, and there was a slight hiatus quite early in the innings because Weatherall survived an appeal for a catch behind. There was an appeal, and there was a definite sort of flicker, as there is on Snicko. But the umpire in the pavilion, Dharmasena, the experienced Sri Lankan umpire, didn't think it was enough of a flicker, and gave Weatherall the benefit of the doubt, and Cass, who was the bowler, had a few words with Weatherall, and a few words with the umpire, and a few words with anyone in sight, and Stokes, who actually, in spite of his pulled groin muscle, had decided he was going to lead England to the end, and he was standing at slip. It was brave of him, and he had to virtually pull Cass off, I think, one or two players. Anyway, the heat of the battle, that was that. In the end, Tongue got both the openers. Head had a slog and got out for 25. And then Weatherall went later for 34. And then Smith, who had made that wonderful 130 odd in the first innings, this time got only 12 when he got an absolute beauty from Will Jackson off break that turned a long way and went between bat and pad and bowled him. And then Khawaja, in his last innings for Australia, he's retired from Test cricket in this match, it was his final game, he made 6 and then played Josh Tongue into his stumps. And the final wicket was that of Manus Labuschagne, who was run out and was very not unhappy, I think, at being given out, but unhappy that he was run out, if you see what I mean. It wasn't that there was anything wrong with the decision. It was just sad to get out. He made 37, and that was 121 for 5, 39 needed. Was there a chance? Not really. But obviously the field crowded round, and there might have been a run out. But Green and Carey saw Australia home, and so they won the Ashes 4-1. A very, very disappointing, disheartening result for English cricket. But in the end, this last match at least re-emphasised the I'm going to say the advent of Josh Tongue. I mean, we know he's a very good bowler, and I think he should have played earlier in the series. And of course, Bethall with that 154 and amazing innings. Now, I want to talk about Bethall because yesterday's video got lost in a technical glitch. Technical glitches do happen, even these days, don't they? And I dare say it was my fault, probably. But anyway, I'm afraid it did get lost. And so I was unable to do full credit, or any credit at all, in fact, to Jacob Bethall. It was an astonishing innings. I think the fact that the only younger player to get over 150 against Australia was Len Hutton in 1938 when he made 364 at the Oval, when England made 903 for 7 declared, an unheard of total. Anyway, Bethall was 142, wasn't he? Not out at the start, and he went on. He got to his 150, and then in the end he got a lifter, a nasty one from Stark, which he edged to the keeper, and so went for 154. And England were out soon afterwards when Tongue followed to Stark, and so the total there was 160. Bethall was amazing. He came in the first over of the innings when Crawley was LBW to Stark. He played with incredible composure, a little bit anxious at the start, but he weathered it. And his coolness is extraordinary. His skill is extraordinary. I don't think I've ever seen a much better player off the back foot. There was one stroke when he played Stark through the covers off the back foot for 4, which was absolutely breathtaking. And but it was his composure at the wicket, I think, which perhaps made the greatest impression with me. He has a wonderful method, which he sticks to it, and it was augured very, very well for the future. People are going to say, of course, he should have played in the first 3 test matches, 3 test matches. Well, in a sense, perhaps, in place of Potts, but actually, just think of it this way. The first 3 test matches were very much Bazball run, weren't they? And if Bethall had played, he would have been duty bound, I think, with pressure from the dressing room to go out there and play Bazball and to play reckless strokes rather than to play sensible cricket, a la Joe Root, which is exactly what he did, except he did it even better than Joe Root, I thought. Had he played in those first 3 tests, he might have got out cheaply, trying to do what he was told, and that might have done a great damage to his confidence. I think, in fact, he probably had a bit of luck. Coming in at Melbourne, he made that extraordinary adventurous 40, which helped take England to that surprising 4-wicket victory. And now, of course, 154 here, which has established his place in the England side for many years to come. It was a wonderful innings. It took me back to an occasion on June the 1st, it's a long time ago, 1978, when I was in the commentary box at Edgbaston, when David Gower played his first test match. It was against Pakistan, and he came in at 4 or 5, took guard and faced Liaquat Ali. Liaquat Ali bowling from the city end, first ball was a long hop, and Gower swiveled and pulled it with great power to the boundary at the edge of the Hollies stand. And it was the most emphatic first ball in Test cricket, and it told a story, and look what happened to David Gower. Well, I think there was a great parallel between what we saw with Bethall. I don't think Bethall has quite the, how shall I say, the ethereal beauty of David Gower. David Gower was always gossamer, it was wonderful, wasn't it? But I do think one thing, that perhaps Bethall may have a slightly more hard-hearted determination when the chips are ready. I don't know, that may be a little bit unkind to David Gower, and I don't mean to be. But Bethall did get this impression of being a real fighter. So that's really at least something exciting that's emerged at the end of the series for England to celebrate. And everyone here at home, what a wonderful time we're going to have over the next 10, 20 years, 15 years, watching Bethall play those strokes and going from strength to strength. So there we are, the Ashes have gone, and it's very sad. Well, we knew the Ashes had gone. They went in 11 days at the start, but the series has gone 4-1. It wasn't a whitewash, at least. The most disappointing series for England in Australia for many, many years, I'm afraid. And just before I go, I want to reiterate, Peter Christian, they're very much on the job as always. You get in touch, have a look at their website, and all these wonderful clothes they have. And as I say, they'll be bunging you a discount as well. So there you are. It'll all be good news. And you'll be supporting Peter Christian, English cricket, and Bethall and Tongue as well. Good for you.